Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, she's so
Do you
tiny.
recognize?
Okay, go ahead, start it up.
Okay, I did.
Tiny.
Wonderful.
As far as I should probably check because we're having such good luck today.
Yeah, I
No.
know. Well, the weather's wonderful. It's getting ready to rain, hopefully.
Well,
Hopefully.
so we're live here because we wanted to find out. First, tell us your name
My name is Alicia,
and you
and
live down.
I live right around the corner. Yeah, a few doors up, but yeah, around the corner.
Eat your pizza. Don't worry.
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine.
That's fine.
I
It's
work
like
in- I
probably
work in
doesn't
I work
wanna
in a
eat pizza.
shop, so I eat pizza all the time.
Yeah,
And
sorry
I have
about
so
that.
much pizza in my freezer right now. I think we're set for a month.
That's like God
You
said,
work
serve
for a
pizza.
pizza shop.
Yes, I work at
Yes.
Flippers.
Which one?
Flippers. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, and I work in Brownwood.
Yeah. Oh, you work in the Brownwood.
Yes.
Okay.
I used to work in Spanish Springs, but they
Yeah.
transferred me to Brownwood because
Yeah,
with
the
all
one down by Chico's.
yeah, with all the construction they have going
We
on
actually
in,
did
in
there.
Spanish Springs.
When we had our
they
great
transferred
grandson,
me.
we actually went there. They do a pizza
Yes.
clash.
Yes. So
Uh-huh.
my mom and my dad, when my niece and nephew were really young, before my nephew passed away,
Oh.
they took them up and made the pizzas. And I
Yeah.
saw pictures of it, and I looked at my mom and I said, "Well, where are you?" She said, "I was taking the pictures." I said, "All right."
Well, that's crazy that we met because you live down the street. How long you lived in the Villages?
Oh, well, I've been here for 10 years. My mom has been here for, my mom and dad were here for almost 24 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They moved here when there was still Buffalo Field
Yeah,
out here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's my right here.
yeah.
So they were here a
And
long
they were
time.
one of the first houses on the street.
Oh, wow.
And they've lived here, and then my dad passed away about 5 years ago.
Huh?
And I've been down here for 10 years because I got divorced and came down here from Massachusetts and then ended up staying with my parents for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I kind of roamed around Florida a little bit, and I dated a truck driver that took me all the way across the country.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I came back and I lived out in Denellen for about a year and a half. And then when my dad passed away, I said, you know what? I don't want my mom to be alone.
Yeah.
Oh, good for
So
you.
I said, come back, I'm coming back.
That's awesome.
So as much as I didn't particularly like living around here, and she did not let my dog by any means.
Yes. Now, what? I saw the dog in the car when you
She's
came
a
back.
pit bull mix.
Pit bull mix.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know what she's mixed with, but she is the sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
For
she
sure.
hits herself in the head with her own tail when she sees people. She's just like,
Yeah.
That's a funny description.
oh, she is so sweet.
I like that.
She is.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
I have pictures of her. Always. She is my screensaver.
Huh.
That's my puppers.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Good, good.
That's my sweet girl.
Uh-huh.
How much does she
Yeah.
weigh?
58 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And she, my aunt and uncle, a couple of years ago, came down to visit, and my uncle said, well, I'll take her out to go to the bathroom. And when he leaned down to clean up after her, he happened to catch his heel on the curb, and he fell and he cracked his hip. So their 2-week visit turned into a month and a half visit.
Oh.
Yeah. And then my aunt just passed away in November.
Hmm.
Oh,
Sorry.
boy.
My mom's younger sister.
Huh?
Yes.
And did her husband, did the son go? Has he passed too?
No, he's still kicking.
Oh, boy.
He is up there, and his daughter and son-in-law and grandson come over all the time, and they're fixing up a place in their basement for him to come and live with them.
Right.
Oh.
So yeah, because he's not doing so good.
No,
After
that's,
my aunt died, and then you know,
Yeah.
and then
Did you
so-
lived in the Villages?
No.
Oh.
No, they're up in New York.
Okay, so they didn't come down.
Yeah, no, they're up in Olean, New York. And then I have family up in Pennsylvania and Coudersport, Pennsylvania,
Everywhere.
Leroy, Pennsylvania. which
Is anybody up from your family in the Villages or just your mom?
Just-
me.
So you're just here by,
Yep, by choice. My
By
brother
choice.
lives in Cincinnati.
Bravo.
My older brother. He's 3 years older than me.
So you inherited the house?
No.
oh, mom.
No,
no.
she
your
lives
mom's
with.
still
Yes,
alive?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
my mom,
Oh.
she's still kicking. She's 78 years old and
Okay.
she had a knee replacement done.
She's the one who pulled you up with the kitty.
Yeah.
But tell us the story.
Yes.
What?
Now, hold on. This is a great
What-
story.
What street do you live on?
I live right on Williams Road.
Oh,
Right around
okay,
the corner.
So around the corner,
Right around the
but
corner.
3.5
That's right.
blocks down.
Ah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
here's
third
the
circle
story.
down.
You don't know the story from us is that we've been looking for an animal,
Oh, I didn't
a
know
senior dog, what we thought, because we're renting here until we could own.
that. Okay.
And we're born again Christians, but
Yeah.
like born again, following a different path, a way. We just did everything. I did drugs, I have story, I sold all my stuff, whatever I had.
No, I've
At
had
49.
all
Me too. Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah.
have kind of like the same history as you.
Yeah.
I kind of get the same vibe. Which brings me to I'm sitting in my garage praying out loud.
Yeah, I heard you.
You heard. What was I saying? God, I was saying something loud.
I don't remember exactly. I just know you were doing exercises and you had earphones
Yes.
on and you were talking out loud at the same time.
And what I was saying was, God, show me a sign right now. I need a sign right now from you. That's what I was saying. Now, I want you to know the backstory. My wife was praying for a process to be easy to find a dog. So we just recently lost our 2 little puppies that we had our entire life,
Yeah.
meaning 14 years. Both of them died back to back. So now we knew we wanted pets. We could only get dogs because the guy specifically said no cats. But but here's the God. I want you to know how God's working. The day before, he comes right here behind you. Right behind you, there's a hole. He's sitting there telling me, "You want to buy this house when you're done with the lease?" I said, "Absolutely." And he goes, "This is how much it's going to cost," which was a number that she would have fell over and probably ran to the street.
Yeah.
Said, "Ha ha!"
Yeah,
And I said, "Absolutely, no problem. You got a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Done. What God says, done. Don't haggle. Don't complain. Don't whine. If He's telling you that that's the price, that's the price.
Right.
He's telling you this is the person who's going to bring the next." So basically, I'm saying this, and then she prays, "God, bring me a dog right to my doorstep." This is what she
didn't
said.
say a
Her
dog.
she said, "Bring me a pet right to my doorstep." Is that what you said? Because pet to your doorstep.
Yeah, my animal. I said I watch all these videos, you know,
I
and
did
you go to the thing, and I said, I don't know how. So the last 3 months since we were moving,
Uh-huh.
I've been scouring the internet for animals.
Yeah.
And I really
Yeah.
wasn't looking at dogs, but we had a feral cat that lived over their
Oh,
their
There's
pergola.
2 up there. I think
Okay.
that's the mummy.
So, but I loved him. He moved so. I've wanted a cat. So we can only get the dogs. The dogs.
Brother, it's the same. Okay? The same mom.
I think that is right up there by the villas.
But it's the same mom then that was our feral cat's mom. So this is a good chance that this is a grandson, a great granddaughter of that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the good
Okay.
news is this. I'm praying for something in there.
Yeah.
She prays for someone to bring. Now this, where I'm gonna
We
let
were-
you speak only. Look at the camera if you can. Tell them the miracle, because you told me, like frantically, you were frantic. You didn't have a cat in your hand. You
Yeah.
were frantic. You were sweating. You were
Oh, yeah.
frantic. So start from
Get
the
it.
start. What's your day look like that day? Just say what does your day look like?
I went down to the gas station because I smoke cigarettes.
Mhm.
And I went down to go and get myself cigarettes and grab myself a beer. And on my way back, I'm following behind this truck that's like one of those utility trucks. It wasn't Mike Scott Plumbing, but it was like one of those
Okay,
kind
yep.
of trucks. And I swore I saw something black go out around the corner. And I was like, oh, they're throwing garbage out on a road. And then in between their tires, I saw a flip, 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 flip. And I went, wait a minute. And I was back far enough that I put my brakes on and I stopped my car. And then I realized it was a kitten because they had gone. And there's this little kitten in the middle of the road. And I put my brakes on and there was people behind me. There were people coming in front of me. I walked right out in front and I went, stop. And I leaned down. I tried to get her.
Uh-huh.
But she ran across the street and ran right up against the side of the house. And I went right into
Whose
the
house?
yard. The house right over across the street.
The yellow one?
The tan one.
Yeah.
Not the one with the windows
Ah.
right here.
To the
But
right.
the one right
Okay,
right
on the corner.
directly
Got
straight
it.
across.
So right across from my house where I have a garage door open
Exactly.
and I have my headphones on, I don't hear none of this. I don't see none of this.
Exactly.
'Cause I am praying, and just so you know, I was praying and crying
Yeah.
for the entire hour. Not just one, the entire hour. Go ahead.
But I mean, I saw that and I just looked at people and I was like, you're gonna stop.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this so many times on Facebook and I was like, this will never happen around here. Because people
See, you and I, we're
people take
recreating
care.
a Facebook moment.
People take care of their animals around here. I couldn't believe that happened. And I was like, really? So I went over and I got her. She was all crouched down, like did not want to come to me. And I reached out and I grabbed her and I was like, "Okay, come on, we're coming." And everybody on both sides, nobody had honked their horns. Nobody said anything when they saw me walk back with this little kitten.
Oh.
And I brought her into my car and I should have held her. My stupid butt should have held her on my way back to the house.
Mhm.
But I put her on the passenger seat of my car so I could drive back home.
Yeah.
In the time, just around the corner back to my house, she jumped down, found the one little place that she could crawl up and get into my dashboard of my car. And I went, "You gotta be kidding me." And my mom is like the cat whisperer. I mean, she is. All cats love her. Animals just love her. I swear my dog is not my dog, it's her dog.
Yeah.
But she's just one of those people. And so I called her up. Well, at first I tried to coax her out. Couldn't do anything. I put a can of tuna fish down on the floorboard of my car. I put a glass of ice water down. I grabbed my mom's little fan that she uses for a golf cart. I started pushing the fan so it was blowing up into the dashboard so it wasn't cold because I have a black car. And it was like 94 degrees outside. I was just like, oh God, the poor thing's gonna die. I'm like,
Yeah,
she's
you
gonna
know
get
that
so
in the
hot.
paper today, they tell you that if you leave a car closed up
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
it
here we
goes
go.
to
wanna hold it?
135 degrees
Oh,
in
yeah.
10 minutes, that kills you.
I've
kills the
had
kids,
to
kills
have
the animals.
I've had my windshield replaced because it cracked because of the heat.
Well, this is good.
wow.
Good.
Yes,
Go
we
on.
did.
Okay, so it's in the car.
Right.
The kitty's in the car.
So she crawls up into my dashboard of my car. And all I can hear is meow, meow, meow. And I heard her getting really close, but I couldn't see her. So about a half an hour after trying to coax her out and blowing the fan up in there and everything like that, and I was like, all right, the only people I can think of that are new in the neighborhood that might have had a kitten that might have gotten out, you cannot have them. So,
No. If she wants to, whatever you
was
want.
you guys around the corner, and I was like, well, you're the newest people in the neighborhood, and maybe you had gotten a kitten and it got out on accident.
Yep.
And I went, okay, so I'll go over and ask. So I walked all the way over because I wasn't driving my car because she was in my dashboard, and I was like, no, I don't want her to get in the engine and anything happen
Oh
to
yeah.
her. So I walked over here and asked, and Niko said, well, we don't have one, but I'll come and help you try and get it out. And he pulled the other side of my center console off because I had already
Well, I
had the one
walked
off.
3 blocks at
There we
first.
go.
Yeah,
First, I looked at you and said,
you
"All right,
walked
where's
a
her
long
cat?"
way.
She's like this there, but at one point I'm like, "Is this really a cat there?"
Yeah.
And then when I did find you there with the cat, then I'm like, "Is it dead?
Yeah, that's
Is it
what
in
I
there?"
said too.
And then you go, "Come on, just meow."
Yeah. And even I, like,
She's like, "Just meow once for him," because you wanted to know if it was dead too.
yeah. Oh, I was, well, that, and I thought maybe I was hallucinating. I'm
Yeah.
like, did I really pick up a kitten?
I'm
like-
telling you that
I
the
was like,
devil
because
was
it
there.
was there, and then
telling
it
you.
was gone. And
Yeah.
I
Devil
went,
was there.
wait a minute. And then I pulled the
But
top
you
down.
don't know,
and
I
was
had a
like,
very important meeting on my Zoom, and I left my phone. I just ran after you. I didn't know. I thought the phone, your
yeah,
car was
we
here.
walked, we
Yeah.
walked down.
So shoot back. I have to leave. I can't stay.
Right.
And I can't. And I'm
Yeah,
trying
and
to.
you
And I
said
said,
you
call the
tried.
fire department.
Yeah, and all I could think was if I call the fire department, they're gonna rip my center console
Yeah,
apart,
they're
and
gonna
they're
rip.
not gonna put it back together.
You're right.
I was like, yeah.
So while I'm
I
at
got
home,
an
yeah.
addition to it. I told my son the story.
Oh, good.
He said at the airport, they had the same thing happen.
Oh yeah.
A cat got in there. They ripped it all apart. It took them an hour and a half to get the cat.
Yeah. And they didn't put it back together
How'd you,
though.
Nico, how'd you get over there? You
well, listen to
Yeah,
this.
we walked around the
We
corner.
walked there, and then wait. I tell her to call the fire department. She's like, I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of hallucinations going on too with me.
Yeah.
I'm hallucinating too because I was just praying to God for a miracle, and I looked up, and there's a woman I've never seen before in my life standing over me in my garage. That means she walked all the way up to the garage in my garage, which means it's a big walk. Okay,
You
so
don't have the
for
cat,
you to
though,
be there, that means
right?
you
Yeah.
needed something from me.
Yeah, because I walked up and I was like, excuse me, and you didn't
But
hear
what-
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I got a little closer.
You got
I was
closer,
like,
and I
"Excuse
looked up,
me."
and I was like, I was saying, God, show me something now. But anyways, I come back, I get on this meeting, everything is great.
Mm-hmm.
And after the meeting, I looked at Christy, and I looked at her, I said, She goes, whatever happened with the cat and that lady? I said, because she didn't know. She ran inside to get a bra. By the time
I heard a
everything was
voice
done.
and I was like, I need a bra. And then when I came back,
Yeah.
you were gone.
So she
I
goes-
said, he must be out helping somebody, but I didn't
I'm
know
sitting
where.
there, perfect timing. Perfect timing. When I say to my wife, she goes, what happened? And I said, I don't know. Maybe she just needed help. Maybe I'm supposed to help her.
Oh yeah.
Before I could say anything, before I could finish that thought. You standing in front of me with the cat.
Yeah.
You were right there in front of me. And I'm like, did she
well-
hear it again?
What happened?
And
What
I was
happened?
talking like, where is she?
Well, I after you left,
Yeah.
I kept trying to coax her out,
Okay.
and then
Then I was like, okay, my mom was up. She was up playing cards.
not right up at the center up here.
Okay.
And so I called her up and I'm like, Mom, I have a problem. And she goes, what? And I said,
I have a kitten stuck in my dashboard. And she went,
what? I said, yeah, it almost got run over and I picked it up and it crawled up into my dashboard of my car.
and she goes, well, just leave it alone. It'll come out when it's ready. And I said, all right. She goes, I'll be home in a half an hour. All right. All right. So I'm still out there. Now that's what all of this is. That's sun poisoning.
Oh,
From me being outside.
Side
Telling
for
you
that long-
she
oh.
looked- You looked disheveled. You looked like you were hurting.
Oh,
You were in trouble.
I stay out of the
You
sun.
looked. You were
Yeah.
in trouble. Like you looked distressed.
Oh yeah, I
But
was.
when
I
I-
was shaking.
I told
was
Christy that she
trembling.
needed help, and that's why I walked 3.5 blocks. Like
Yeah.
I gotta help her. But then the cat.
Oh no, I
But
was.
then the
I
story.
was trembling.
And then she didn't tell me she waited for a kitten to come to her door. And then you handed me the kitten, and I go, here you go. This is your kitten to Christy. And she was like, I handed her, you and I handed her kitten
Yeah.
at her doorstep as she said to God.
Okay, but you didn't.
Well,
tell her.
I laughed.
praying for
Did
it.
it come out finally by itself?
Well, it not to my knowledge.
Because your mom said it
And
would come out.
my mom came home and I had the door open. I'm sitting there looking up, trying to get the cat to come out. You know, tuna fish, fan, ice water, blowing up and everything like that. My mom goes, "Where is it?" I said,
Oh.
"It's up in my dashboard." She goes,
All right, let's go inside for a minute. And I closed the door, but didn't like slam the door
Uh-huh.
on my car. But I closed. I had the
Yeah.
windows down, but not too far that it would be able to jump
get out. Yeah.
and my mom goes, well, "Let me go in. Let me get some ice water." And then she got her ice water. She goes, "All right, I'm just gonna go out and sit in the car. Just sit
Yeah.
and see if it'll come out." Not even 3 minutes later.
The cat
Here's my
whisperer.
mom comes walking back to the house. Kitten's out. I went, "Are you kidding me?" I come out and she had gone
Yeah.
in the back seat. She was on the side of my seat, in between the front and the back,
Mhm.
so I could see her face. And I kind of pushed her back so my mom could get her.
Yeah.
My mom picked her up and she goes, "Oh, this is a baby."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I know. She's really small." And she goes, "This can't be more than 4 weeks old."
Yeah.
She said that.
Yeah, my mom said that. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a miracle. She should have lived
And
that.
she goes, "Now you said somebody said they would take her, right?" And I said, "Well, I was kind of hoping you would let me keep her." She goes, "Abby will not allow another cat in this house." My mom's cat, Abby,
Yeah.
and my mom
To
and my dog.
Abigail.
My mom's cat and my dog, they share the house. My dog gets the
Yeah.
house during the day, and at night when I take her into my room, then the cat gets the house at night. Because
Okay,
Abby
yeah.
sleeps all day, Chloe's awake all day. She sleeps all night. And there we go.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
but
They,
happy.
It works perfectly. She goes, "I have tried bringing another kitten in here."
Yeah.
And she said, "Abby tried to kill it."
yeah.
I said, "All right." I said, "Well, right around the corner." She goes, "All right, well, let's go." And she
So
just drove me
your
right
mom
around.
came with you.
Yeah, my mom brought me right with
But
her.
I can't believe your mother's cat's name is Abigail.
Yeah.
I've never even heard this name. We just
Yeah.
picked this, and that's the name of her cat.
Well, I said it's Abigail, and she goes, "No, it's not Abigail. It is Abby." And I said, "Well, Liz calls her Abigail," and she goes, "Well, that's because this is crazy."
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So mine's Abigail
I
and
call her
everybody.
Abby.
It's like, yeah.
My dad
I was
used to call
well.
ours.
I should say first. You should say ask me why Abby. I'll tell you why. Because I thought you said male cat over and over.
I
He,
thought it was
Yeah.
he,
Yeah.
he.
Yeah.
So you kept saying he.
Yeah.
And then when we called the doctor, the pet, they
Yeah.
said, well, if it's a calico and it's a boy, it's 1 in 3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a
So I
girl.
said, well, if that was God giving me a cat and the miracle cat, there'd
Yeah.
be that. I didn't know the whole story.
I didn't know it was a
Yeah.
calico either.
Mm.
I was
So,
just like,
yeah.
They called it a
But I
calico.
didn't. When we
That
thought it was a
means
boy,
three colors? Or
Yes.
what does it mean?
Yeah.
Calico's 3 colors. It's
What-
usually
Okay.
3
black,
plus colors.
brown, and white. Usually.
orange.
Yeah.
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 When we first saw him, I didn't know it was him or her.
Yeah.
We,
And I
yeah.
did that before with the other cat too. So
Yeah.
We
I
thought it was a
that
girl
her
and then it
and
was a boy.
him.
Yeah.
See,
So the
now I thought it
opposite.
was opposite.
Well, and then my mom.
But I
told-
called him Absalom.
Oh, that's not bad.
Absalom means it's biblical. And I've been really why. You got to understand why I was screaming in the garage because I want my son back. I haven't seen him in 7 years. I just started talking to him on TikTok. If he didn't talk to me, I found him on TikTok. Started annoying him on TikTok by saying I'm your dad. He knows who I am. He's 22 years old. So at 16, he said, "Screw you! I don't want to hang out with you no more." Blah 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 blah. And he was every right to do it. But in the Bible, David loses his son. He has many sons, but he loved
Who's
the
that?
one woman he
Oh,
loved.
got it. Sorry.
So
there's-
Absalom became Abby.
Well, because
Abby. Anyway,
no, what happened was David, Absalom, not only lost the love of David. Absalom wanted to murder David. He hated him and wanted to take over all of it. So he's like, "Follow me, not him," because my grandfather Saul, the real king, the other one wasn't. Lots of stories. So and then at the end, the story is tragic. It's a great tragedy because David gets to be king, even though he says, "I'll let my son kill me so he can win." And everybody around him's like, "That's not going to happen." And they made sure that they killed his son so that wouldn't happen, even though he's ready to die. So there's a book written about it, Absalom. So it meant something to me, Absalom. So I kept saying Absalom. And then Abby came from that.
how many days ago was this?
This was what?
Today's
4
Tuesday.
4
There
days?
was a good chance you could have still been in Greece.
Because no, it was Thursday. It was,
Was
this
it last
past
Thursday?
No,
Yeah.
first day that I got a good sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came in
Yeah,
on
you
Monday.
guys-
Because we just got back from
On
Greece.
Monday.
I was in St.
So-
Martin. You got.
I got Monday, Tuesday, I slept. Wednesday, I
and you
slept.
went to the vet that I gave you.
We just went to the Paws right over here. We decided just to stay like as close
Oh, we're
to.
close as
Oh
possible.
no,
We love it.
the place that I go to is 20 minutes away.
Wait, yeah.
It really is. It's you go straight out here and make a right and just keep going straight.
Bravo.
And it's
Okay, I
right
have
there.
a question.
Thank you.
I thought that there was a car in front of the truck. The car threw it out. The truck missed it. The gardeners threw it out.
That makes
I
sense,
didn't
the
see
garden would
another.
throw it
I
out.
did not see another car in front
That
of
makes
that
sense. The
truck.
garden would throw
So
it out.
they had
You
to
know,
be in there.
but I mean,
Who knows?
Can I at least get you a piece of cake?
Or fruit?
fruit is good.
Cool. Yeah, bring the fruit and the yogurt out, baby.
What are you
Quite a
doing?
story.
What are you doing, Caroline?
It is quite a story.
She's so sweet, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm glad your eye looks so much better now.
Oh, was it fun?
She had a big red poof ball under
Oh,
her.
really?
Hit the
Oh.
road
Yeah, because she went boop, 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 boop.
like a hemoglobin.
And I picked her up and she had like a big red, like, it looked like a cyst
Oh,
under her
isn't
eye.
that interesting?
But when I
Yeah.
got her out of the dashboard, the cyst was pretty much gone.
Come
And
on.
she had this like little scab thing that I
She's
wiped
healed.
away.
Yeah. No, isn't that
But
interesting?
I was like, oh my god, I hope she's okay, because I was gonna take her up to the
Well,
vet.
Yeah.
But I went, okay,
Could you
well,
please
she
disperse
seems
that to
okay.
everybody?
I said she's not acting like she's off, so you know. I'm just glad she's found a nice, a good loving home.
Yeah, she had.
Because I would have kept her in a heartbeat, but
But yeah,
my mom
they-
said absolutely not. And I went, oh god. She goes, maybe after Abby dies, we might get another one. And I went, oh god.
So incredible that
Oh.
they're both named Abby.
Yeah, I laughed at that. I was like, really? I said, Mom, guess what they guess what they named her? And she goes, what?
Yeah, what'd she say when she
I
heard
said-
that one?
I said, Abigail, and that's, she goes, just like Abby. And she goes, Abby's not named as Abby, it's Abby, and not Abigail.
But you know, that's really funny. So my name is Christy.
Mm.
And so people are always like, oh, Christine or Christy. So I'm always like, no, it's Christy.
Yeah.
Like, you spell it out. So
Oh, yeah.
your mom, I understand what she's saying.
And my dog's mom, her
Uh-huh.
name is Little Chris.
Hold on 1 second.
Well, that's a good story.
But yeah, I've never thought that. But my mom said when they first moved down here, there were feral cats around.
Yeah.
And she said she called the fire department to rescue 5 kittens out of the drain.
Oh geez.
But that was like 20-some years
Yeah,
ago. I've
they
never
were living
seen.
in the drains.
I've never seen
That's
a
why they're
stray
called
cat
feral cats.
anywhere.
If you put a little bit of this yogurt, there's I gave you a fork, but that yogurt, oh, it's so good with the fruit. It
I've
just
never seen any stray cats around here until right after I got little Abby.
Uh-huh.
I came home from work like 2 nights later, and there was a mama calico
right up here by the villas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right on the corner of the road. And I went, I bet that's the mommy.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if that's mommy, then I bet there's more kittens running around.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, oh, no, no, no. I don't want to play that game.
No.
And my mom looks at me and she goes, well, you should work and go and volunteer at the veterinary, at the shelters.
Uh-huh.
And I went, yeah, and if I do that, I'm going to come home with every dog in the shelter.
Yeah.
I am
They were
sorry.
going to take the dog that was going to be killed that day.
Yeah.
That was their whole thing. They were going to save some
You still
creature.
should have. I'm horrible about that. I see all these.
What happened?
I
Yours?
see all
I didn't
these
give you.
videos on Facebook and everything like that about the dogs in the shelters, and it kills me because I was there when my dog was born.
Oh,
I was out in
Yeah.
Denellen.
those pictures of those dogs.
When my dog was born, I was out in Denellen, and I was living with these two people, and he had a dog. He had two dogs. He had one that was a purebred pit bull, and her baby that was half pit.
Wow.
And her baby had babies. And I used to scratch her back when she was pregnant and everything like that. And I said, I asked, I said, when she has the babies, can I have one? And he said, yes. And she went into labor and started having puppies. And the first one came out, and I went, nope. Second one came out, and I said, that's the one I want, right there. 3 more came out. I said, no, I want that one. That one's mine. And that's my Chloe Lamb. And now
Wow.
she's almost 5 years old. And she loves life now because she doesn't have fleas or anything like that. She's so happy. But boy, she's perfect to give a bath to because when I was out in Denellen, she used to get sand fleas. She had fleas all the time, was always scratching. And I would look at her and I say, all right, come here. Mama gonna give you a bath. Let's make the itchies go away.
All right, you guys are starting.
So now every time I look at her, I say, let's make the itchies go away. She goes and stands right next to the hose and just stands there.
Oh, really? Nice.
She hates it, and she sits like this, but she will not run. I can take her collar off, and I can just sit there right in the driveway and wash her, and she just stands there. Like, are we done yet?
So your mother must have been surprised then, because the villages
Yeah.
were supposed to end right where those gates
Oh.
are. Past as you're coming in, you pass the Summerhill mailbox, and then the
Yep.
gates are there.
Everything,
And-
I have seen the villages grown so much just
Yeah.
in the last 10
You've been here
years
20
that I've
years.
been here.
Yeah.
I've been here for 10 years from Massachusetts, and it's huge.
Huge, yeah.
I can't believe how big it is now.
No, this goes on and on and on and on.
But,
And
but we
they're-
have
they
Pizza
keep
Life
doing
right
it.
here.
Like, have you seen the big mansion that the owners built? out there?
No.
They have in their
Are they down by
in their
Middleton?
compound? No, it's out on.
Just
you
right
go-
over here?
No, you go up to what is this? 466.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
so
follow-
they
it's up
sold
on-
all their old houses? Or
No, they still have it all. They're still their.
JR, you
compound.
want some?
They
No.
Nothing? No
rebuilt-
cake? Birthday cake for you?
I'll take a little piece of
I knew you'd get cake. Something told me to buy a cake. Something.
They rebuilt a whole huge
How do you
mansion.
find it?
It's right up 466 on your way to go up to 441.
Yeah.
It's up on your left hand side.
Oh, okay.
You know where he's talking
Yeah, the place
Yeah.
that we know already.
Yeah, where the
That
owners
back up into,
live. Yeah,
about. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
it's crazy. That huge house. It looks like a mansion. It really does.
But yeah, it was supposed to end there. Oh my gosh, stuff keeps going.
That's for him over there.
Keeps coming.
That's a caramel apple pie
And then,
for my best
and then
friend
the
over there.
farmer
JR
sold
Ray.
them all that land
He's my best friend.
on this side of 101.
If you don't go to heaven, then there is no
Two sets of
heaven
villas.
should be closed.
Methodist
If
Church
you're gonna come
and
eat
Summerhill.
this,
Oh, it's crazy.
I bless this
thank you,
cake.
thank you.
Bless it. You need it good and be happy.
I can't.
You need
believe
happiness.
how
You need a lot of
big
happiness right now. I'm negative.
The villages has gotten. I cannot believe how big it's gotten.
It's huge.
It is.
Have you been down south at all?
You've been down south.
We, like the south side of the village where they're, Middleton and all that.
Oh no, I don't drive very much.
Okay, so we, for the last 3 years, have been living down in the village of Hammock at Fenny.
Hammocks of it.
So
Okay.
Warm Springs Road in 301.
Yeah.
And so the first
For the
18
birth-
months we were
for
here,
the
we lived
kitty-
with
for
them.
the kitty.
We lived in their extra
Birthday cake for
bedroom.
the kitty.
But
It's her birthday. We're saying it's her birthday
yeah.
today. We don't have a date, but today we'll see. Since you found her.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
That's right, today. You
Yeah.
found her.
So,
No, just that we were living down there and just how much it's just grown. Crazy.
Well, they consider
Down the
just a
turnpike.
little ways south of the turnpike is the halfway point of the villages.
yeah. Oh,
A girl that worked with them
Stop
in their main office that said that, yeah, that's the halfway point.
well, I used to take the village's shuttle to go to the airport.
Yeah.
And
Bye-bye,
on the way
everybody.
to Orlando. The
Thank
guy
you.
was driving the shuttle. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. We're just gonna let this wrap up so no one can see. There's JR. I'm trying to make him believe in God. By the way, do you believe in God? Do you believe in miracles?
I didn't know.
Yeah, right.
Okay, because you know she was praying for it, and I was praying for something to change my life. But maybe it was you. Maybe for you, because you're a non-believer, or maybe trying to believe, maybe trying to put it all together, because you've had a tough life.
I think I did my good deed for at least the month.
Maybe for the year.
And I'm good. And I'm
So
good
why
with
don't-
that.
Is there anything that you want in life? If God could give you one thing, because you saved a kid and you did, what would you ask God for?
Keep my mom happy.
Very good.
Okay, how about you?
No, that-
What do you want for yourself? Because you know you have a demon inside you that's not letting you be happy. I see it right now. He won't let you. He won't even let you smile.
Nope.
What did you want for?
Everything for me.
Aw.
Nope.
A hug. Could we give you a hug?
I want everything for everyone else.
Could you give her a hug right now?
Everybody deserves. Everybody deserves happiness.
She does.
Let me give you a hug.
But what do you?
Oh,
I just give. That's all I do.
Do you have kids?
I do. They're grown.
How old are your kids?
My daughter is 23, and my son is 20, gonna be 21.
And
my
where-
daughter's gonna be 24.
Where do they live at?
My daughter lives up in Massachusetts, and my son lives in Maine.
Oh, wow, there.
He was down here in Fort Lauderdale for 3 years, and he said, "Mom, it's too flippin' hot down here." He said, "I want cold." So last November, he moved up to Maine. And I called him in December, and I said, "So what's the weather like up there?" And he said, "Oh, it's 4 degrees." I said, "Well, you want it cold?" And he goes, "Yeah." I
Told ya.
did."
Sometimes we know what's good best for us, but then we take the wrong path. But I could tell you this: I'm gonna give you something for bringing our cat into our life, our kitten, and something. I'm gonna bless you and bless your children because I know that's what you want. I bet that
I
would,
want everybody to be happy.
but I want you to be happy. So I'm gonna bless you, and I'm gonna bless you that you find happiness, whether it's someone who brings you happiness, or maybe it's Christy and I who inspire you to be happy, and you can come by here and watch Abigail grow, and that'll inspire you too to be happy because she's yours as well. So maybe that's part of our plan as well. But I'm blessing and I'm praying for you, Alicia, to be happy and to find happiness. That's my gift to you that I bless and I pray to God. And prayers are very, see, I believe nothing is stronger than a righteous man's prayer. I'm trying to be righteous. Really trying to be. Like if you were to ask me right now, if you were to ask me in 5th grade what I wanted to be, I'd probably tell you an NFL football player.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask me right now at 55 years old what I want to be, I would tell you a saint. I want to be a saint. My God told me that my wife and I are going to win an Olympic gold medal one day. And that's not what I want. That's not what I want to do. If I have a miracle, it's for me to be a saint so I can bless people like you and that my prayers to God for you to find happiness come true. That's what I pray. I'm praying right now for you to find happiness. Whether your children find extreme wealth, and extreme wealth, but I mean like win a lottery or something and just be happy and spread it with you and make your life easy. And thank you for making our life better with Abigail. And goodbye. And then I'm going to try to prove to this guy right there, him, that there's a God because he's 83, right?
83.
And he says there's no God, right?
It could be a guy.
You don't believe in him.
I just, hey.
You did. You'd be angry with
I
him.
just want to live a certain kind of life.
That's right. Guy ain't doing it right for you.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to live a life just like you
No,
guys
I'm
do.
saying I know, but if God was real, you'd be angry with them because there's a lot of stuff that's happening that you just don't see right. I get it. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
What's your address? So when we drive
Thank
down
you,
Williams
my
all the
dear.
time. What's
You
your
over here. Goodbye.
5-4.
Just a second. 3, 2.
5, 4.
Remember that.
Yeah, we're 3-2.
Goodbye,
I
everybody.
know. So I know, but I just.